In the headlines, APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu vows to wipe out banditry, visits Birnin Gwari. PDP presidential candidate takes campaign to Nasarawa, vows to take millions out of poverty. Black marketers take over Jos as fuel scarcity bites harder. Away from Nigeria, Chad releases 139 detainees from protest crackdown in October. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for joining. Beginning with political matters, the APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu vowed to end banditry and violent killings if elected president in 2023. According to him, security will receive his administration top priority as he will ensure that lives and properties of the citizens are protected. The presidential candidate, who said this when he paid a courtesy visit on the Emir of Birnin Gwari, Jibril Maigwari, on Monday, also promised to repair the Kaduna-Birnin Gwari highway. According to Tinubu, infrastructure brings development, saying that if the road is constructed, it will ease the movement of agricultural products to and from the area. He equally promised to construct dams for the people to address water shortage, saying that he will do his best to make Nigeria a better place, even though it will be a difficult task.
We are here to say yes. We belong in the community of Democrats, of which you are well informed, well educated, and you have participated in the development of this country.
This country has potentials, this state has potentials, this local government has great potentials, waiting for the right leader to bring all the heads together, bring all the good people and the vision and the boldness together. And we are all praying to God that you are that leader by the grace of God.
All right, now presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, says that he will initiate programs that will take millions of youths and women out of poverty if elected in 2023 election. The PDP candidate stated this during his campaign rally in Lafia, Nasarawa State. Abubakar Abdullahi sent in the report as presented from our studio.
The PDP presidential candidate, who was delighted with the crowd that gathered to support his ambition, said many Nigerians are living in poverty and needed to be taken out of such squalid condition. He specifically explained that majority of the youths and women who constitute a greater number of the total population are out of jobs, adding that there is need for the incoming administration to look into their plight with a view to bringing succor to them.
I also want to use this opportunity to reiterate our commitment to making sure that our young men and women have jobs to do and have work to do when we come into office. That is why we set aside $10 billion so that we can pump this money into small, medium enterprises for our young men and women. Let me also announce that we will link up Nasarawa with all other neighboring states as far as our road infrastructure is concerned.
He maintained that by so doing, insecurity and other social vices would be reduced in the country. On their part, National Chairman of PDP, Yochia Ayu, and Chairman Presidential Campaign Council, Governor Udom Emmanuel of Akwa Ibom State, said the North Central region has been a home of the PDP, and as such, Nasarawa State and other states in the zone would massively support the party in 2023 elections.
I don't need to come here and campaign because the whole of North Central, where I come from, is not going to disgrace me. Every state in North Central is going to be won by the People's Democratic Party. Atiku Abubakar will get his highest votes from the North Central zone.
In Nasarawa today, the kind of crowds, the kind of reception, the kind of joy we are seeing in Nasarawa State today means that Nasarawa is PDP. and PDP is Nasarawa. I'm convinced that when it's time to announce the result of Nasarawa will be announced first, as PDP has won Nasarawa.
The governorship candidate and party chairman in the state, Francis Orogu, and David Ombugadu, both assured of the party's victory in all positions in the state and the country. In attendance of the rally were former Senate President Bukola Saraki and Yakubu Dogara, Governor Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto State, former Information Minister Labaran Maku, and ex-PDP Board of Trustees Chairman Walid Jibrin, among others.
Meanwhile, suspected thugs have burned structures at the campaign office of the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Gombe State, Muhammad Jibrin Barde. Located opposite Presidential Lodge in Gombe, GRA, Barde's media office was attacked in the early hours of Monday. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
This is the campaign office of the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Gombe State, Muhammad Jibrin Barde, set on fire in the early hours of Monday. A security guard who was on duty when the incident happened narrated his experience. We saw flames and electric spark. We opened the door and saw the thugs numbering more than 50 with cutlasses and sticks.
The
policeman was firing tear gas. He was tired and ran away. The thugs ran away when more police officers were deployed. In the aftermath of the attack, Barde and leaders of the PDP in Gombe State, including former Governor Ibrahim Dankombo and Senator Bayero Nafada, were at the site to assess the damage. In a press conference on Monday, the Barde campaign organization blamed the ruling All Progressives Congress APC for the attack.
We are appealing to our teaming supporters, well-wishers, and all sympathizers of the PDP as a party to please hold their peace and remain calm and not to take the laws into their hands, because we are taking every appropriate measure officially to address these issues.
I think there is a third or a fourth time when this type of thing has happened. That means somebody somewhere is encouraging this to happen. And the relevant evidence that is supposed to stop this has done nothing about it.
The Director, Press and Public Affairs to Governor Inwaya Ismaila Obamisili denies the allegations, saying the PDP was just looking for cheap publicity. The Nigeria Police Gombe State Command vowed to investigate the attack and urge parents to warn their children against political violence.
We will investigate. Good day.
Stakeholders say incidents like this call for the security architecture in the state to be strengthened ahead of the 2023 general elections in order to guarantee a free, fair, and accepted exercise. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
Some key players of the All Progressives Congress APC have commended the party's presidential candidate Bola Tinubu for his continuous grassroots consultations, saying that it has brought him closer to Nigerians than any other candidate. They made this known at a town hall meeting organized by Muslim leaders of southwest Nigeria, which was attended by the APC presidential candidate. The report.
As part of his efforts to reach out to the grassroots, the All Progressives Congress presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is in Ibadan to meet with Muslim leaders across the southwest zone. The meeting is an opportunity for him to engage Muslim leaders in southwest, listen to their demands, and tell them about his developmental plans for Nigeria. Supporters at the event believe that his continuous grassroots engagements is an indication of his nationwide acceptance by groups and individuals.
Sincerely speaking, if you look at the attendance here, they are not rented couch. They are people from the grassroots, and they are from the 6 states of the southwest. I'm sure within a few hours, the message here will go down to ordinary people. I want you to know the network the Muslims have. Within 2 polling units, you have more than 5 mosques.
Then the question of development, the question of the economy, so the question of schools. I get it. That is what Asiwaju is addressing here today. I can see the crowd is not rented.
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu
will address the leaders of the Southwest in the Muslim, and will tell us his program. We believe in him. He has done it before. He has excelled as the governor of Lagos State. He's a discoverer of talent. He's a politician of tactics. He's an academia. We are happy.
Some leaders of the Islamic group are hopeful that by honoring their invitation to come and listen to their demands, it will yield good results.
I'm very happy to see today's program because this is the first time in Nigeria history that all Southwest Muslims are coming together to endorse one candidate. And since the inspection of Nigeria, we Muslims don't have this opportunity.
Of Jagaban is a selected somebody from Almighty Allah, because in the family of Jagaban, we have Christian, we have Muslim. Even his wife is a pastor.
Present at the event were top APC chieftains like the former Speaker of House of Representatives, Dimeji Bankole, Lagos State Deputy Governor Obafemi Hamzat, Oyo State gubernatorial candidate Taslim Folarin, and other top Muslim leaders.
Traditional rulers want Nigerians to support government execute credible election and population census next year. They made this known in Abuja during the National Council of Traditional Rulers meeting aimed at assessing the role of traditional rulers ahead of the election and the population census. Trust TV's Kabir Lawal reports.
This year's theme of meeting is planning towards successful conduct of general election as well as national population census. President Muhammadu Buhari, represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boz Mustafa, said roles of traditional institutions in Nigeria cannot be overemphasized, noting that the collaboration will make the country grow to greater heights.
The traditional rulers are seen across the country as the custodians of culture and tradition, and as such are expected to be neutral father figures in their respective domains. The traditional rulers are believed to have important roles to play for the successful conduct of the 2023 general elections, because they are the authority which the people in their community look up to for managing their affairs, because their authorities are rooted in tradition and the cultures and cultural values of our people.
He said the forthcoming general election and population census is important, hence the need to work hand in hand to provide solid foundation to the future of the country. Chairman of the National Council of Traditional Rulers of Nigeria, Sultan of Sokoto, Saad Abubakar, said the traditional institution will not relent in contributing their quota in the upliftment of the nation.
We know things are not all right, but there's nothing beyond redemption if we are committed, serious, and work with the fear of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all our dealings. Because we know, as it said, to know you have a problem, you have half of the solution. The other half is for you to get up.
Earlier, the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, who is the co-chairman of the council, added that the call became imperative for the unity of the country, irrespective of tribe or religion.
We should be very neutral in things we do. We shouldn't take sides of any political aspiration or affiliation. We know the challenges we are having in our entire country. What I will implore my brother traditional rulers is we should continue to pray for this country. We should continue to work towards the unity and togetherness of our nation, irrespective of the situation that we are currently getting ourselves involved with.
The council expressed its support to the National Population Commission to conduct credible and reliable census, as it will go a long way to better the lots of the country. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Police in Imo State said that 3 suspected members of the outlawed indigenous people of Biafra have been killed during attack on Independent National Electoral Commission office in Owerri, the Imo State capital. Police also said that some of the attackers have been arrested. The report.
This is not the first time gunmen will attack INEC office in the state, but this time around, police successfully repelled the attackers, killing 3 and arresting others. However, part of the INEC office was burned during the attack. The Commissioner of Police, CP Muhammad Berde, said the hoodlums' intention was to race down the INEC building, but the police quickly intervened. He added that a shootout occurred between the hoodlums and the police, and in the process, 3 of the hoodlums were killed. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, who was at the police command headquarters, condemned the attack on the INEC while faulting the activities of those sponsoring insecurity in the state.
We are able to neutralize 3, recover 3 AK, and recover 3 pump actions with some of their IEDs, and in fact about 4 of their vehicles. So these are the 3 being neutralized. Now we don't stop there. We now went ahead again. We have been able to arrest 2 alive with gunshot or gun wound.
You see, the issue here is not just banditry. I'm trying to understand the motive behind the action and why is INEC the target. And if you collaborate this with events of the past, where I have continuously said that what is happening in Imo State is politically contrived. Some people who think that they can win elections, yet they don't want elections. How would they then win? INEC does not need this distraction at this point and stage of our elections.
The resident electoral commissioner, Professor Silva Agu, who took the governor and the service chiefs to assess the level of damage, said the ITC center was not affected during the attack. She expressed concern that the low perimeter fencing was too low.
Then the media house was also attacked. Then accounts office was attacked. Then some of our vehicles, you can see the 2 of them here, burnt down, burnt. Then some of them, the glasses broken, the windscreen broken.
The governor, reacting to the development, assured the commission of fixing the damaged parts and the perimeter fencing as well. INEC, in a statement, said none of its critical election materials was destroyed in the latest attack on its Owerri office.
The federal government has approved the immediate relaxation of COVID-19 safety measures and travel advisory, including the suspension of all pre-departure, pre-boarding and post-arrival PCR test requirements. This was contained in a statement on Monday by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, and Chairman of the Presidential Steering Committee of the COVID-19, Boss Mustafa. According to Mustafa, President Muhammadu Buhari's approval follows the recommendations of the PSC based on clinical and laboratory evidence of a sustained reduction in COVID-19 infection transmission across the country. You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Coming up shortly, we'll take a look at how cost of living pushes up prices of second-hand bicycle. Details of this and more after the break. That's great. Good to see you. Welcome back from that break. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Here's a look at the top stories again. APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu vows to wipe out banditry, visits Birnin Gwari. PDP presidential candidate takes campaign to Nasarawa, vows to take millions out of poverty. Now, moving on, black marketers are taking over Jos, the Plateau State capital, as fuel scarcity hits the state. Trust TV's Ado Musa reports that none of the filling stations within the state capital is dispensing the product, a development that has led black marketers to hike the price of petrol per gallon. The report.
Although none of the filling stations visited was seen selling the product, black marketers are seen cashing in on the situation by selling in jerrycans and gallons along major roads and streets. They are selling at 1,800 per gallon of 4 litre, as some of the filling stations visited were empty, with only pump attendants seen moving around, probably waiting for the supply of the product. Some of the black marketers explained the increase in price of the product in Jos. We buy a gallon from filling stations at the rate of 1,600 naira and sell it 1,800 naira. We are not making much profit. We have nothing to do than to sell it at that price, because before we buy it from the filling stations, we have to bribe some people. The fuel is costly is because the owners of the filling stations are hoarding the product. Even when they bring it, they hoard it and increase the price before they sell it. They hoard the fuel in most of their garages. Residents in Jos are continuing to lament the hike in the price of the fuel, which they said has also led to an increase in transport fares within and outside the city. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Bicycle is an alternative means of transportation, especially among low-income earners across most of Nigeria. In Kano, many can no longer afford brand-new bicycles and are rather resorting to second-hand ones. This has seen a surge in the demand for these fairly used ones, with an attendant increase in price. Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibrin reports on how traders are coping with the situation in Kano State, northwest Nigeria.
Awalu Umar sells bicycle in Kofarua market. He says they used to import it from China and sells to different peoples across northern Nigeria and Niger Republic. But the price of bicycle these days has gone high.
Well, actually the price of the bicycles have gone high. The bicycles are of different type. Like this one you are seeing, it can reach up to 35,000, while there is that of 30,000. There is also that of 20 to 23,000. So that is how we are selling them, because the price is not as it used to be. There is a high increase in the price of things, especially because of the situation the society is in, and also there is the problem, the high cost of diesel, which we use in transporting the bicycles, maybe from Lagos to Kano here. So that has contributed a lot to the high cost of the price. Many a times you will see people will come here with the money they want to buy the bicycle. They end up going back because their money is not complete to buy the bicycle that they wanted to buy. Bicycle is an alternative means of transportation, especially among low-income earners, students, and sometimes people use it for exercise. According to traders in Kano, second-hand bicycle market is booming nowadays, owing to the restrictions of tricycle movement beyond 10 p.m. Many people prepare to use bicycle to get to their destinations. But there are challenges associated with this business. Well, the challenge we used to have in terms of this second-hand bicycle market are enormous. There are so many challenges. One, government did not know about us. They don't know what we are doing. They don't help us. They don't provide us with any incentive. Whatever you see us doing here in this market, we are doing it on our own without the help of any government officials or any government agency. So that is why sometimes the prices of the bicycle tend to go higher than we anticipate. For those involved in this trade,
The market is contributing significantly to revenue generation and provision of employment to many that requires government intervention for sustainability. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
Now, away from Nigeria, at least 139 people have been released in Chad after being arrested during a bloody crackdown on anti-government protests in October that killed dozens of people. They are free to return to their families. Muhammad Alamin, a deputy public prosecutor at the N'Djamena court, reportedly said, referring to people released from Korotoro, a prison 600 kilometers from the capital. A total of 59 people were reportedly acquitted and 80 others received 1 to 2 years of suspended sentences. The release comes after a court handed out jail terms of between 2 to 3 years to 262 people on Monday, a move deemed illegal by defense lawyers. The defendants were charged with taking part in an unauthorized gathering, destroying belongings, arson, and disturbing public order. On October 20, Chadian authorities said about 50 people were killed, including 10 members of the security forces, and more than 300 were arrested after police opened fire on demonstrators. Back then, members of the opposition parties and civil society groups took to the streets against a decision to further delay the country's transition towards civilian rule. Opposition groups say that the real count was much higher and alleged that unarmed civilians were subject to mass killing. And that's a wrap on the news update. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also watch us live on YouTube. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.